Hmm. Okay. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, stream crashed and we're back, I guess. I'm probably gonna wrap things up pretty quickly here. It's it's morning now, and yeah, probably gonna end things in about 10 minutes, anyways. Let's just see how much work our guys can do. I I'm really challenged. Like I'm not exactly sure if we live through this, but I don't know a better way to play it too, right? Like I feel like we're juggling everything as best as we can, but did the stream crash again? What happened? Okay, never mind. All right. We're just in a really rough spot. Yeah, this is not a lot of oxygen coming in through here. I mean, it's basically it's most of a pipe. I guess we should not split things here. We could deconstruct this. Priority 9. Then we lose oxygen to our base mostly. I guess we just settle for half a line that sometimes has hydrogen in it. I'll leave it as is. So we're setting up our cooling line here, which is going to double as our way of getting crude oil to our steel stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm going to take the stream crashing as a bit of a sign that it's probably time to wrap up the stream. So, where are we at? Well, we've set up some electrolyzers to electrolyze some of our reserve water in the system, and that's supplying some of our oxygen. We have our polluted dirt supplying some. We have our oxygen supplying some. We're getting some residual scraps from over here, right, from oxygen just kind of falling down and stuff. We, in theory, could be getting some algae over here and putting that into our oxygen diffusers. But even at priority 9, it's pretty rare that they actually deliver the algae here because it's so far away from our base. So we are really struggling on oxygen as a result. We're also struggling on food, in part because of the oxygen, right? We have a lot of plants that just aren't going harvested because they don't have enough breath to get down here and do their work, and right, like especially because this ladder here basically stops, so they have to run all the way from over here as opposed to being able to come through here. But that's becoming a little bit less of an issue now that the oxygen is receded from over here. We have some major food issues as well. Because of that, like we're settling some of the cooling issues. We've got all these farms back online. These are offline again because of body temperature, but we don't have this is just a hot area, so we don't have a lot of ways to solve that. We're setting up this cooling line for the food that will then double as our way of getting crude oil to our steel production over here. And we still have a ways to go on setting up this steel production, right? We need to grab a bunch of lead and build this radiant liquid pipe. We need to set up the steam turbines. We need to set up the metal refinery, right? We need to pump in. I guess we have basically this line done. So we have our way of pumping in the water. It's just going to go and use the outlet for the steam turbines. We're going to kind of dual use that, right? But we still need to set up a whole line of insulated tile right over here and dig out this layer right here and set up insulation on this side over here. Like there's a lot of lead and stuff to... do I care about mopping this up? Probably not. Let's leave it for now. So we've made some progress on our steel, but we don't have much progress made on this area over here either. Let's go ahead and deconstruct this. Construction, we'll say priority 8 on this. Get in through here and attack this guy. But yeah, we're in rough shape, right? We don't have our... We have expanded out one more ranch, but we haven't hauled the new critters over here yet. I don't believe. Yeah, they're still trussed up. So we still have that work to do. We need to start expanding our ranches out really quickly, because keeping these farms online is going to become increasingly untenable. Incubators might be a really good solution here to getting our ranches up and going, but it's, I mean, I don't know. It's tricky, right? Because that costs us power. We're already really short on power. We haven't been able to get up our trees again. That's been problematic for us as well. Like all of our lead, all of our refined metal is way up here, which is just not very convenient. Like the path is pretty oxygenated, and that's fine, but it's still just a really long distance from the base. I'm thinking of just setting up, emergency electrolyzers somewhere, just at least for like the base area up here would be nice. But again, there's power issues associated with that because the coal is located so far away from our base as well. And we don't have trees up and going again because we haven't been able to get the cooling, but we don't have the cooling because we don't have the power. So power is a major issue, heat's a major issue, food's a major issue, oxygen is a major issue. All the major issues that you can have are still pretty major issues. And the oxygen one is like the really, I don't know, like we have solutions to the food and whatnot, but the oxygen one takes a while to solve because we're going to need to build this whole steel thing. We're going to need to get crude oil from over here to this system to provide the coolant, right? We then need to process around 200 kilograms of iron and 400 kilograms of steel. So we need about 6 batches, which is going to be around half a cycle at least if we're running things full time. And we're probably not going to be running things full time because we won't have, right, they won't be breathing while they're here, which is problematic again. And yeah, like a lot of our efforts to build things are coming to a crawl because we don't have the oxygen to supply them in those areas. Let's go to the printing pod, see what we have. 4,800 calories of muckroot seems reasonable. Ashcan, Liam, and Abe. Can we print any of these guys? We cannot print an Ashcan. Did we rename Ashcan? You're Ashcan number 2. Why are you still showing up as Ashcan? So we can't print out Ashcan. We already have 2 Abes. And we only have 1 Liam, so we could print out Liam. What is Liam? Flatulent? Not a big fan of farty dupes. They're okay. They're not as bad as people say, but they're not good. I think we're taking muckroot just because I don't like the flatulence. These are pretty good traits. +3 digging, +7 athletics, but we're gonna go with the muckroot. I need food anyways. So yeah, I think that's roughly where we're at. We have a chain of events we need to complete in order to get our oxygen back and going. We need, even that, right? Because we get 400 kilograms of steel. We set up a new pump made out of steel, but then that means that this area is slowly going to start converting to above 75 degrees. And above 75 degrees, all these buildings break, right? So we need very quickly, after we get those 400 kilograms of steel, we then very quickly need to get our aquatuner solution up and running for our new water supply, because that's going to be what cools down this room and keeps it under 75 degrees. But that's going to require probably another 2,400 kilograms of steel, which is a lot, right? It's going to be a lot more batches of iron, a lot more batches of steel. It's less bad once we have this thing set up, because then we can just kind of run this thing more or less full time. And we do have, in terms of like lime, right? We have 40 kilograms of lime, which is what we need for the 400 kilograms of steel for the first pump. But we're not like, in terms of other sources of lime, it's just a matter of running the rock granulator, right? We have, for example, a lot of fossil. So let me see, 2,400 kilograms. So we need 2,400 kilograms of steel to make the next solution, which means we're doing what? We need I think it's 10 kilograms of lime per order of steel, which means we need 200 kilograms of fossil per order of steel. We need 24 orders of steel, so we're a little bit short on fossil as it stands right now. But we also have other fossil that we can just dig out from here. Like this fossil right here is going to add another 750 kilograms of fossil to our supplies. And then if we dig out just a little bit more, like so we're not hurting in terms of the lime supplies, right? There's some more fossil right here. We do have the fossil, and we do have a little bit more eggshell. We have 32 kilograms of eggshell. We'll get more over time to supply the lime. We have a good backlog of refined carbon from when we ran our kilns. So like we have the materials. I mean, I guess we need to do a little bit of work on iron ore, right? We have 0 kilograms of iron ore available at the moment. Is that true? Really? Wait a second. Base, liquid reservoir, iron ore, 0 iron ore. I thought we had iron ore. I didn't use it to build something, did I? That would be really unfortunate. So we'll need to find more iron ore, but we can do that, I think. Come to think of it, though. Actually, this could be a major problem. Metal. This is all lead and copper. And where is iron ore? This is more aluminum. Lead. Okay. The sand fell from down here, right, and blocked off this entrance. So we do have iron over here. 600 kilograms, roughly speaking, plus 1 ton, plus another 500 kilograms, plus another 700 kilograms. Okay, so we have like 2.5 tons, roughly speaking, over here, which should be enough, right? We'll turn that all into iron in some metal refinery, or actually we'll use the same setup. So we have enough iron ore, we have enough refined carbon, we have enough lime, but it's still just a big chain of events, right? Getting this whole thing set up, getting the crude oil filtered and pumped out to here, then setting up the pump, that bridges us to have water, to have oxygen, to keep on living. But then we really quickly need to get the rest of our iron and lime and refined carbon processed into steel, so that way we can get 2 more aquatuners, get this water source up and going. Once we reach there, though, I mean, once we reach there, I feel like we're really good, though, is the thing, right? Like once we're at that point, we're actually sitting pretty. Because at that point, we have a cooling solution for all of our oxygen. We have a water solution for all of our oxygen, right? So our oxygen becomes an entirely self-sufficient thing. Power-wise, this shouldn't cost us too much, right? I think we're going to be okay on that end. We then just really have to expand out our hatch ranches, right? Because our hatch ranches are our source of coal, our source of food, and then we can just sort of let a lot of these farms start dying off as we expand our ranches further and further and further. But yeah, we need the oxygen. Like we haven't been able to expand our ranching for so long because we've just been caught up by all these other things. We should have started it way earlier, but we're kind of in the same situation like on cycle 100, where there's just other pressing concerns, right? In cycle 100, it was wildly digging our way down here to get to the water so that we could sustain our production of oxygen. So I don't know. This is a really rough map, I have to say. Like this has not been easy. But in any case, I think that's it for me today. We're so close. I know this has been like the 5th stream in a row where I've said we are so close to turning the corner, but we really are. Like there's literally like half a dozen steps, and then we're actually on a pretty good footing. Let's go ahead and finish up just one last thing here. I want a manual generator made out of aluminum ore right here. Maybe we stick a battery here. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and add a battery to the system. Just a little battery right here, made out of aluminum. Change the priority of all this to priority 8. And then I think we're good to go. Well, no. I don't want to build this liquid vent, do I? Put this at priority 6 until this gets built. All right. I think that's it for me. We're close. And then once we've kind of gotten on that solid footing, I think the plan is to just start ramping up to the 70 duplicates. And I don't know, like I'm going to be a little bit gentle in ramping up to the 70 duplicates because I'll be honest with you, there's a major potential for lag once you get to a really high number of duplicates. We probably need to start optimizing our base for lag issues, which is going to be a whole discussion in and of itself. Like in theory, oxygen, food, heat, and then power as kind of a subsidiary thing are like the four major threats that you face in the game. Late game, if you're sort of an experienced player, lag becomes one of the big ones, and that's, I don't know. I didn't set a goal of like 70 duplicates by cycle 300 specifically because I need to make sure I keep a handle on lag as we go forward. But yeah, we'll start ramping up to 70 duplicates once I feel like all the other problems have kind of been tackled, and then as lag appears, we'll start optimizing the base to reduce pathfinding requirements and stuff like that. But yeah, and I think once we're on that firm footing, we're also going to start like making the base a lot prettier, having actual like bedrooms as opposed to just cramming them in these little spots. Oh, here's a spot where we can put beds. Great. Here you go. Is there oxygen in these areas? No. They wake up in the middle of the night suffocating. Like, okay, that's just what they have to live with. We're going to give them actual, living standards that normal human beings might actually enjoy. But that's in the future. First, food and oxygen, then we'll start talking about comfort and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, that's it for me, and hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys next time.